Welcome back to our channel. A world in 2025 where the global landscape of migration has drastically changed. Imagine borders becoming fortified walls, and the dream of a new life met with closed doors. This is not fiction, it's a potential reality based on current global trends. We are talking economic pressures, rising nationalism, and unease about migration. These factors are creating a climate where nations prioritize national interests over humanitarian concerns. Today, we are exploring the top 10 countries projected to significantly increase deportations in 2025. This isn't about judgment, it's about understanding the forces at play. This is a reality check you need to see. Number 10. Sweden. Sweden, once a symbol of progressive humanitarianism, is facing a stark transformation. Reports suggest a staggering 65% surge in deportations compared to 2023. Imagine the shift from a haven of safety to a place of anxiety and fear. Economic pressures, coupled with growing public unease about integration, have fueled this dramatic policy change. Asylum applications are being processed at an unprecedented pace, down to a mere 30 days from what used to be months. Municipalities are buckling under the strain of social service costs, and public opinion is hardening against immigrants. While some applaud the government's firm stance, human rights organizations argue that Sweden is betraying its long-standing humanitarian commitments. Number 9. Italy. Italy, a historic gateway to Europe, is also feeling the pressure. Deportations have jumped by nearly 50% in the last 18 months. Overcrowded reception centers, a struggling economy, and the rise of nationalist political parties are pushing the government to take drastic measures. Think of the perilous journeys across the Mediterranean, only to be met with swift repatriation. Italy is tightening its immigration laws, strengthening cooperation with North African nations to curb arrivals by sea, and deploying advanced surveillance technologies along its coastlines. While nationalist sentiment is on the rise, critics warn of potential violations of international human rights laws and the erosion of Italy's tradition of offering refuge. Number 8. Greece. Greece, situated at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, is grappling with an overwhelming influx of migrants. Deportations have skyrocketed by an alarming 70% since 2023. Imagine the sheer scale of this human crisis. Public resources are stretched to their breaking point, and the government is expediting the deportation process with a sense of urgency. New regulations mandate that asylum claims be processed within a mere 60 days. The European Union is providing financial assistance, but human rights advocates express serious concerns about due process violations and the potential for families to be torn apart. Number 7. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom, in the post-Brexit era, is adopting a more assertive stance on immigration. Deportations are up by 55%, driven by a combination of economic anxieties, national security concerns, and the desire to take back control of its borders. The newly enacted Border Security Act of 2025 introduces a 30-day accelerated processing period for asylum claims deemed unsustainable. Local law enforcement agencies are reporting a perceived decrease in crime rates in areas with high immigration populations, further bolstering public support for these stricter policies. However, the expedited procedures are raising significant concerns about adequate legal reviews and the potential for jeopardizing the rights of legitimate asylum seekers. Number 6. Germany. Germany, once a beacon of open immigration policies in Europe, is now dramatically shifting its approach. Deportations have surged by a staggering 60%. The escalating costs of integration and social services, coupled with a rise in nationalist sentiment, are fueling this policy reversal. Imagine the fear and uncertainty within immigrant communities. Germany is implementing more stringent legal frameworks, drastically shortening asylum processing times, and deploying advanced surveillance and border control technologies. While some view these measures as essential for economic stability and national security, others argue that Germany is betraying its moral obligations under international law and the Refugee Convention. Number 5. France. France, a nation with a rich and complex history of welcoming immigrants, is undergoing a profound transformation in its immigration policies. Deportations have surged by a dramatic 70% over the past 2 years. Ballooning social expenditures, coupled with heightened concerns about national security in a volatile world, are driving this significant change. Picture families being separated and deported to uncertain futures. The French government has streamlined its asylum processes, introduced new legislation that dramatically shortens the time frame for reviewing claims, and reinforced border security through the deployment of advanced surveillance systems and specialized task forces. Critics argue that these measures risk alienating vulnerable populations and tarnishing France's international reputation as a champion of human rights. Number 4. Australia. Australia, long known for its robust immigration system and strict border controls, is intensifying its policies even further in 2025. Facing an evolving global landscape marked by increased migration flows and economic uncertainties, the Australian government has implemented a series of rigorous measures aimed at expediting deportations and tightening visa regulations. Recent data from the Department of Home Affairs indicates that deportations have surged by 55% since 2023. Economic reports reveal that the cost of integrating undocumented migrants has escalated, prompting government authorities to justify the need for tougher immigration controls. Central to Australia's new approach is the implementation of an expedited processing system for asylum seekers, advanced biometric screening, and enhanced intelligence sharing with regional partners. Number 3. Canada. Even Canada, historically celebrated for its inclusive immigration policies and its welcoming approach to multiculturalism, is experiencing a significant shift in 2025. As it grapples with economic challenges and mounting public pressure, the Canadian government has introduced sweeping reforms designed to expedite the deportation of undocumented migrants. Official data from Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada shows that deportations have increased by 50% compared to 2023. This dramatic shift is attributed to rising concerns over the fiscal sustainability of social programs, as integration costs have reportedly surged in recent years. Under the new legislative framework, asylum claims are subject to a rigorous and accelerated review process, and enhanced border security measures have been implemented at major ports of entry. Number 2. Brazil. Brazil, long considered a welcoming gateway for immigrants in Latin America, is now confronting a rapidly evolving immigration landscape. Amid economic instability and rising public anxiety over job competition, the Brazilian government has enacted sweeping policy reforms aimed at curtailing undocumented migration. Official figures reveal that deportations have surged by nearly 60% since 2023. This steep increase is linked to a combination of economic downturns, escalating public expenditure on migrant services, and a shifting political climate that favors stricter border controls. In response to these mounting challenges, Brazil has overhauled its immigration system, mandating that asylum claims be processed within a shorter time frame and bolstering its border control capabilities. And finally, at number 1, we have the United States. In 2025, the United States tops the list as the nation most aggressively cracking down on undocumented migration. This dramatic policy reversal has stunned both domestic and international observers. Once known for its historical openness and its tradition as a nation of immigrants, the U.S. now enforces unprecedented measures, with deportations surging by a staggering 80% compared to 2023. This surge is driven by a combination of factors, including economic anxieties, national security concerns, and a hardening of political discourse around immigration. The new Immigration Reform Act of 2025 has fueled the administration's tough stance, intensifying political support for a near-zero-tolerance approach.